guys, welcome back to another video. If you are new onto my channel, hi, lovely to meet you. And if you are one of those who normally watches my vlog, thank you so much guys for watching my content and for keeping me on my toes. And as you've seen with the title of today's video, I just thought I would touch on the subject. I haven't done one of these videos in a while actually. So this video is inspired by a talk or a chat that I had with a friend of mine a few days ago, and I thought it would be a good idea to actually do a video about it for my YouTube channel, and here we are. So the question is, if you are a married woman, is it okay or is it important to retain your independence? So I know we're gonna differ on this topic. People are gonna think I'm crazy, but this is my opinion, and I'm not saying obviously it's the right opinion, but each to their own. But I just thought I would share my views or what I think is the case regarding this topic. So before we dissect the topic that this video is about, I'm going to tell you a little story of actually what happened, why I thought this would be a good sort of like topic to talk about on one of the vlogs. So this friend of mine, basically, she earns good money, she works hard, and comes month end, she takes all her money, she gives it to the husband. Bear in mind, the husband works as well. So from what I could understand, the husband then decides what they do with the money, right? Obviously, that works for both of them, or for him or for her. But from what I could gather when we were talking, her eyes, she wasn't okay. You could feel that. Another thing she touched on was she basically she feels like she owes her husband, because obviously she wasn't well. The husband was looking after her, so she doesn't want to leave the husband, but it looks like the relationship is not in a good space. So first question I asked her was, why are you giving him your money? I know a lot of couples, when they married, they normally have like a joint account, and they'll agree on a specific amount of money. Then they'll put that amount on the joint account to either pay for bills, pay for whatever they need to pay for around the house. If they've got kids, it will look after kids, so forth and so forth. So I asked her, I said, do you give him all your money, all your wages? She said, yes. And I said, do you keep anything like for yourself? She said, no. And that for me, that was a bit bizarre. I was like, personally, I wouldn't do that. And I then said to her, you know what, it's very, very important that you maintain your independence. Just because he's your husband, it doesn't mean you have to give all your money to him. You still need to keep a little bit for yourself. He doesn't need to know about that. We all have those accounts. Well, I've got an account where I put a certain percentage of my money into, and it's got nothing to do with my husband. Whether he knows about that account or not, probably he does the same thing, but we all different individually. And then I asked her, I said, like, what would you do if something were to happen? So obviously she did not understand the question, which I was trying to say, if the relationship were to break down, you haven't got anything small saved up just for yourself for rainy days. That means, she's going to have to start from ground zero. And I said, on top of that, you haven't got a clear picture of what your husband is doing with the money, besides the usual of paying for the bills and, and buying food in the house. And she just busted out crying. So we had a little bit of a chat, which I'm not going to talk about on here. But what I will say regarding a woman retaining her independence, whether you're a woman or a man, but on this case, I'm going to make this specifically towards a woman. I think it's very important as a married woman to maintain your independent. If you are one of those who obviously give their husband portion of their money or all their money, it's important that you keep, even if it's 5% or 10%, a certain percentage, keep it aside for rainy days. That means should the relationship or you go through a divorce, you've got something. I personally, I wouldn't, give my husband all my money. Why? I'm the one who get up and go to work, especially if he's working himself. Why should I be giving my money to him? When we got married with my husband, we made a decision. We don't have a joint account, even though we married in community of property. What's his, it's his, in a way, and what's mine is mine. I'm talking in the sense of what we're bringing at the moment, and obviously we are aware that should we ever, get divorced or something happen, we are married in community of property. We'll deal with it when the day comes. I know some people would think I'm crazy about doing this, but it gives a peace of mind for everyone. I don't know what he earns. I'm not interested in knowing what he earns. For me, what's important is we've got a warm home, the kids are fed, we do things that we like to do. Like if whatever makes him happy, he needs to go and do that. Like we've got our lives outside of the marriage. It's like, if I say outside of the marriage, I'm talking like we don't have to do everything together, just because we're married. I've got a life that I love my space, and he understands that. And I think that's what makes the relationship works. So it really, really broke my heart when I realized that there are people who are in such a position. So I, for one, I'm one of those people who believe that as a woman, you need your independence. You need to go do things that makes you happy. Because if you are happy, then you are in a happy home. Your kids are happy. But if you're going to start sacrificing a part of you or things that make you happy, then what kind of a home are you going to build with that somebody? Like it's very, very important. I know this might be confusing to a lot of people, but you've married this person, which then should means, you got to do everything together. I'm not saying don't tell him what you're doing, but, as I've said, this is my opinion and this is how I sort of like live my life, and it works for me. I'm not saying it's going to work for everyone, but, sometimes it doesn't help saying, oh, but mom's generation, oh, this is what I was advised at home. The culture says this, just forget about that and do as long as you and your partner, your husband, in this case, agrees on what you two are doing and you are both happy. Who cares what other people are thinking, So I just hope if there are people out there that are in a similar position, just maybe sit down with your partner and, revisit, have a chat and think things through and have a chat. Because if he doesn't know that you are not happy about certain things and you even in a space where you want to be, you wish out of the relationship or the marriage, then you won't be able to sort of like sort or have a solution for whatever it is. I hope I've made sense with this video. But anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think it's important for a married woman to retain a little bit of their independence? Not even a little bit, like to retain their independence. I'm not saying obviously go be crazy out there, but in terms of like especially finances and things that make you happy as an individual, which is going to contribute into you being a happy wife or a happy mom. Do you think it's important to maintain your independence? Well, let me know on the comment section down below. Let's have a little bit of a chat, and I would like to hear what your thoughts are on this topic. And that's all for today, guys, and I will see you on next week's video. Mwah.